I've done a Loupedeck video before on their first Lightroom console, and it was amazing for dedicated Lightroom use, like batch editing for a wedding, but it's kind of large. It takes up a good amount of my desk space, and I don't have that much space over here. So when Loupedeck hit me up and asked to sponsor this video, I gladly accepted. I've been using Loupedeck Live since December of last year, and this is one of the biggest workflow shortcut hacks that I've used in a while, especially since I'm mostly in Final Cut Pro these days, editing videos for this channel. Now, there's so many little tedious little tasks that I'm doing in Final Cut when I edit a video. Now I can assign dedicated buttons on the Loupedeck Live, and there's no need to memorize hotkeys anymore or keyboard shortcuts because I'm terrible at that. Visually look at this thing, it's small. It doesn't take up much space on my desk. It looks like a premium device. It's compact, lightweight, has haptic touch controls, LED backlit. The Loupedeck Live has 8 customizable buttons and 6 dials. The first button is the homepage where you map your favorite programs, and then there's 7 numbered buttons that you can use to toggle through your different workspaces. The 3 dials on each side are also fully customizable. And me being a mouse user, it does not interfere with the workspace on my desk. It doesn't interfere with, my little area here. If it did that, I wouldn't want to use it, and let's just be honest, regardless of how helpful something can be to your workflow, if it's inconvenient to use, you're not going to use it as much. With this Loupedeck Live, you can create a shortcut for nearly anything on your computer. So as it pertains to me, let's say I'm in Final Cut Pro and I want to add a basic title. Sounds quick and easy, but I have a ton of plugins that I'm always having to dig myself out of just to create a title in a video. That's another 3 to 4 step process that I have to do multiple times in edit that I can now just do with a quick tap, the little things, If I want to screen record, no longer do I have to exit Final Cut and open QuickTime Player. One tap and it's open. When I'm editing, I'm constantly adding music and sound effects from Epidemic Sound and Artlist. Now I can add a shortcut that goes straight to Epidemic Sound and Artlist where I get my music. And I don't have to leave Final Cut. It just opens up as a new window. Since I mostly do photography on this channel, I'm always going in and out of Lightroom and Photoshop when editing and adding photos to my videos. And both of those programs are integrated natively into the software here. And if you activate dynamic mode in the Loupedeck Live software, every time you switch over to another program, like if I switched over to Lightroom, it's gonna switch the profile over to Lightroom automatically, and you're gonna have all the shortcuts that you have for Lightroom. The programs that I use the most, I have them mapped on my homepage. And mapping shortcuts is super easy in the software. It's as simple as just dragging and dropping. On my homepage, I have 3 workspaces that I'm always using. There's editing, color, and audio. Like in my editing tab, I'm always using copy attributes and then paste some attributes when I want to take some of the audio presets and put them onto another clip. Add basic title, add basic lower third title, record my voiceover, insert a gap between the footage. And there's also these analog dials on the side here that you can also customize. One thing I'm always doing is constantly adjusting the brightness of my S-Log footage when I color grade it. And for that, I press the top right dial, and that's gonna take me to the color board. Then I use the middle right and the bottom right dials to quickly adjust the global brightness and the shadow brightness of the footage. And if you know of how Final Cut is, you have to go to the color board, and now you gotta open up each tab for each thing, like show. That takes a lot of time. And I can do that just 3 clicks. Boom, turn, it's done. There's a good amount of programs that run natively on the Loupedeck Live, like Capture One, Adobe Premiere, Audition, Final Cut, Lightroom, Photoshop, even streaming apps like Twitch and OBS Studio. And the nice thing about that is that all of these programs have workspaces built into the software already, so you can just use it as it is. So for example, I just got home from a photo shoot and I'm gonna start culling my photos. The moment I open up Lightroom, the Loupedeck automatically switches to the Lightroom profile. The first workspace that opens up is for rating images. The second workspace is for basic adjustments. The third is for color presets. And for this one, you can map your favorite color presets to a button so that you don't have to constantly move your mouse and have to scroll through them. Then we have color adjustments and then some other shortcuts. But remember, you can customize any of these pages to include the things that you use the most in your workflow. If you want to check out more info on the Loupedeck Live, I'm gonna leave a link in the description box below. But I encourage you to go on YouTube and look up more videos on it if you want to learn more about it. I mean, I could have made an hour-long video on this thing because there is so much that you can do with it. It's just like, but I'm not that kind of content creator. I am, I like to focus on real-world usage, not like super technical breakdowns. And for me, Final Cut Pro, just one program, this has saved me so much time in Final Cut. All those little things add up. I put like 10 to 20 hours into editing nowadays. I have OCD with my editing. So that is all I have for now, and I'm on to the next one.